Southern Indiana will soon see a new area code. My interview with DuBois County Clerk Bridget Jarboe on vote center possibilities for DuBois County, and Inform featuring Bar Reeves Schools Superintendent Travis Madison. All of that and much more is up next here on 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news, a principal at a Pike County elementary school has been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. Otwell Elementary Principal Rick Fears has been placed on leave by the Pike County School Corporation. Pike County School Superintendent Suzanne Blake said Fears was told midway through last month that he was being placed on administrative leave. Blake declined to comment on the matter as it involves a personnel issue. In a brief statement, Blake noted that the corporation will have an interim principal in the building for the start of school so that things can continue to run as planned. Students in the Pike County School Corporation return to school next Friday. Southern Indiana will soon be getting a new area code. Yesterday afternoon, the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission announced that the area code 930 will be added to the area with the adoption of an overlay zone. The current 812 area code is running out of available phone numbers, and the IURC since March has held 10 public hearings across the area to get input from folks on the situation. IURC officials say an overlay was the vastly popular choice among the public, the Office of Utility Consumer Counsel, and other parties in the case. The new 930 area code will be assigned to the same geographic area as the 812 area code, meaning that any customer across the region requesting new or additional phone service, whether landline or wireless, could be assigned the 930 area code. Due to the overlay, customers will now have to dial 10 digits for all phone numbers across the area, even if they are local numbers. There will be a 13-month grace period to allow customers to get used to the change, starting with 6 months of preparing the network and educating customers, followed by 6 months of allowing for both 7 and 10-digit dialing on calls. The last month will be mandatory 10-digit call dialing. Local calls and local calling areas will remain the same. The 812 area code had been the only area code left untouched across the state since its 1947 inception. All other areas of the state had split area codes due to growing demand. Officials cite population growth, economic progress, and advancements such as cell phones, fax machines, and computers that have contributed to the shortage of available numbers. Both area codes together have a projected lifespan of just over 70 years. An arrest was made yesterday in connection with a string of burglaries that had been taking place since Tuesday at Spring Mill State Park. Indiana conservation officers say 40-year-old Mark Hackney of Mitchell was immediately arrested and lodged in the Orange County Jail on outstanding felony warrants for burglary and receiving stolen property. Officers say a second man is still at large. Authorities say the men allegedly stole a Dodge Dually truck early yesterday morning. Working from information received in part from other local law enforcement agencies, conservation officers went to a residence to the south of Mitchell where 2 men fled on foot into a cornfield. Other items recovered in connection to the thefts include tools, personal items, and jewelry. Authorities also found a second vehicle that had been stolen on Monday evening. Indiana State Police, the Orange County Sheriff's Department, Orange County Emergency Medical Services, and the Orleans Police Department all assisted. A complaint from a citizen resulted in the arrest of a Huntingburg man found asleep in his vehicle early yesterday evening. Jasper Police received a complaint that a man was slumped over the steering wheel of his car parked on 28th Street just before 6 p.m. last night. The complaining party also advised officers that there were potentially 2 children in the vehicle. When officers located the vehicle, they determined that 46-year-old Everett Logenauer of Huntingburg was heavily intoxicated, and 2 children were found in the vehicle. Logenauer was lodged in the DuBois County Security Center. In addition to a charge of public intoxication, he also faces 2 counts of neglect of a dependent due to 2 children being inside the vehicle. One of 2 men ejected when an SUV in which they were passengers crashed and flipped Sunday morning on I-64 east of the Dale exit has died of his injuries in an Evansville hospital. The Vanderburgh County Coroner's Office says 23-year-old Reginald Williams of Chicago died just after noon on Sunday after surgery at St. Mary's Medical Center. Another ejected passenger, 18-year-old Trevon Brown of Cahokia, Illinois, remains hospitalized at St. Mary's and was last reported to be in critical condition. The Spencer County Sheriff's Department says Brown and Williams were passengers passengers in an eastbound Jeep SUV driven by 25-year-old Andrew Lamont of Cahokia just before 8 a.m. on Sunday when Lamont nodded off behind the wheel and his Liberty drove off of the east side of the roadway near the 59-mile marker. Police say the SUV then crossed back over the eastbound lanes, ran off the right side of the interstate, and flipped over several times. Authorities say Brown and Williams were not wearing seatbelts when they were ejected. They were airlifted to the hospital at that time. 21-year-old Chase Rogers, also of Cahokia, was a front seat passenger. He suffered an injury and was taken by ambulance to St. Mary's Hospital in Evansville, and he has since been released. Police say Lamont, who was not injured, and Rogers were wearing seatbelts at the time of the crash. Officials with the Greater Jasper Consolidated School Corporation have scheduled a work session to discuss a feasibility study on the corporation's elementary schools. The public is invited to attend the session. The meeting of administrators and the school board is set for 5:30 p.m. next Wednesday, August 7th at the corporation office along St. Charles Street. Representatives from Indianapolis architectural firm Gibraltar Design, who performed the study, will be present. The board is considering remodeling one or more of the current elementary schools or building a new school to suit future student needs. Coming up after the break, my interview with DuBois County Clerk Bridget Jarboe on boat centers, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Bar Reeves Schools Superintendent Travis Madison. That's all up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.